All right, everybody, how are you doing? This is S. Anthony Thomas. This is the S. Anthony Says podcast. Let me just jump right into it. I, you don't have to say what you see all the time. A lot of people will notice things and then comment on them, and sometimes you should just really, how can I put this? Shut up, right? I know a lot of my friends' secrets. I really, really do. I know a lot of their secrets, and I don't say anything about them. I was hanging out with some people before. This is a few years ago. And they go into the bathroom of a friend's house, right? And these friends are middle-aged people. And at this time, I'm in my 20s or 30s. And as a comedy guy, I always had older friends and stuff like that because I was always the youngest of the group. So this person is an older lady, and she had, I don't know, 800 kids in that family. And a lot of times when women have a bunch of kids, sometimes, when they get older, they wear those pull-up type grooves because they have a little bit of a thing where if they laugh, they pee or something leaking, right? So I go in the bathroom. I see this because I'm getting something that they told me to get out of the bathroom underneath the sink. I see it there, don't care. It's not my business. I get the thing and I bring it down to them, right? Another friend goes up to the bathroom, right? And as it turns out, he needed some TP. He yells downstairs, "Hey, where's the toilet paper?" "Under the sink in the bathroom." So he goes, "Oh, okay." So he goes under the sink in the bathroom. He sees the same thing that I see. I didn't say anything about it. He comes downstairs. "Yeah, man, I'm the lady diapers, man. Whose lady diapers is that under the sink? Who peeing on themselves?" Oh, talk about bringing a gathering to a halt. Every last one of us looked at him like, is that something? Why would you bring that up? Now, the lady whose stuff there was, you could tell she was embarrassed, but she had to try to, be cool about it, try to play it off a little bit and act like it wasn't that big of a deal. I've had a bunch of kids and sometimes that happens. The husband's looking at him like, if we weren't kind of friendly, I would throw you out the window. In fact, all of us were going, throw him out the window anyway. You don't have to say something every time you see something. If you know personal secrets about somebody, sometimes, like I said, keep that to yourself. I saw the same thing he saw. I didn't say anything. Didn't give it much of a thought. If you know something about a person, sometimes you don't say it. As somebody who works at comedy clubs my entire adult life, up until a few years to several years ago, I was in bars all the time. Even when I wasn't old enough to be in the bars, I was in the bars because that was the job. I did stand-up comedy in bars, nightclubs, strip clubs. Yes, I did stand up in strip clubs when I was not 21 years old. And yes, I already told that story on the podcast. And no, I'm not telling it again. But yes, my dressing room was shared with the dancers, if you understand what I'm saying. And they had no problem changing. I was, "Oh, you want me to go back outside?" "Why? We naked out there. You might as well. What are you not going to see, kid?" And they meant kid because I was like 18. And quite frankly, when they said I could stay in there, I was not exactly complaining. No, beautiful women with no clothes on. I don't want to sit here and look at your delicious bodies. I don't want to. Oh, no, this is horrible. Right? So I know what it's like to be in an uncomfortable situation. So I'm hanging out with a friend of mine, and a lot of times in this podcast, I will tell stories about things that I have personally done and things that I know people have done, but I always change it enough so people can identify the person I'm talking about. And I know this works because a few years ago, I ran across a guy who is an old friend of mine who stumbled across my picture on Spotify or something or whatever was playing the podcast when I started doing it. And he heard the story. And he runs up to me, "Yo, S, man. Hey, man, what's going on, man? Haven't seen you in a while." We hug each other, dap each other up, high five, whatever. And he goes, "Yeah, man, I listen to your pod, man. You funny, man. You still funny, man. You was funny back then. And you funny, even funnier now, man." "Thanks, man. I appreciate that." "Yeah, man, that dude that did that thing, man, that's crazy, man. Is that real? Did he really do that?" Yuck, 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 yuck. He didn't realize that the person I was talking about in that story was him. He's recounting the story that I told back to me, and I'm looking at him, and I'm going, this guy doesn't realize it was him that did it. Was he that drunk? And I let him laugh and talk, and I said, "Yeah, you know where that happened? Do you remember the blah, blah, blah room?" And he goes, "Yeah, I remember we went to the blah, blah, blah room. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Remember we would go there and watch those football games and stuff? Oh, yeah, I remember that. It was fun. Yeah, I remember watching the football game. Yeah, 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 yeah." And then I said, now remember the thing that the person that you're laughing at did. That happened at the blah blah room in this year, on this day, and I started to watch his face as it slowly started to come back to him. And then he looked at me with a shocked look on his face and he goes, "Wait a minute, that was me." And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, I don't even, wow. Wow, I didn't even recognize my own story." And I'm like, exactly. That's why I changed the stories up so I can talk about a lot of different things, but without identifying people. Because I'm not going to tell something and get anybody in trouble. Now, he wouldn't have gotten in trouble for this. He would have just been embarrassed. But at this time, so much time has gone by, he wouldn't have actually been embarrassed by it. But let's be honest. I mean, he walked up to me and started laughing at the guy. So I'm assuming he would just assume that if he walked up to me, ran up to me actually, and pulled me, "Hey man, they got," and he realized he was laughing at the person, he wouldn't have realized that people might laugh at him. You know? Because a lot of times people will say things out of their mouth, don't realize what they're saying and how wrong it is what they're saying and how they should shut up. A friend of mine had some car problems, and he lived quite a distance from his house. I mean, he could have caught public transportation, but he would have literally had to have gotten up like 2 hours earlier. I didn't live that far from him, and I was during my stand-up comedy days, so it's not like I was getting a lot of sleep. And he called me, "Man, listen, my car's in the shop, man. I need a ride to work, bro. I mean, I know this is asking a lot, bro, but I was wondering, bro. First of all, somebody hits you with about 9 bros, you already know it's gonna be bad. Bro 7, bro 8, bro 9. I'm like, okay, that's 9 bros. Get to it. I need a ride to work, man. My wife's not in town, man. My car's messed up, man. There was no Uber back then, by the way. And I need a ride to the thing." I was like, you know what? It's really not that big a deal because I get home 2, 3 o'clock in the morning from the club. I just had to stay up another hour or so. It's cool, it's cool. I live 15 minutes from you. When you're ready to go, just give me a call. I just got to throw on some sweatpants and whatnot, and I'd get you to work, right? Now, because I had been using the car and driving around a lot, my car was a little junky. I had lots of stuff laying around in my car, and back then nobody was really breaking in cars like that. But then again, what are they going to do? Breaking and steal papers? There was nothing in there for that. But it was a little junky. So he gets in the car, right? And I'm keeping in mind this is like 4 o'clock in the morning or something like that. He gets in the car and he looks around at my car, right? And he goes, "Hey man, this is a little messy, man. A little messy here, man. The car's a little messy." And I look over at him and I go, "You know what's not messy? What? Buses. Buses are not messy." And he starts laughing at it. And I'm thinking that's enough to shut him up. Like, dude, I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I should be sleeping right now. I came to help you out. Maybe you might want to shut up. And he keeps talking. Now, I don't really curse that much. And he wouldn't stop. And I just kind of looked to my right and I just gave him a look. Now, like I said, I don't curse that much. And a lot of times I'll go long stretches without using curse words. But apparently, my eyeballs cursed him the heck out because he was still going in another thing. And I turned and he talked and he saw the look on my face. And you could almost, you ever hear tires screech in a car that's trying to stop from 70 miles an hour or something like that on the freeway? Like that. I almost heard that sound when he looked and got a good look at me looking at him. He said, "Hey, another thing." Oh, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, turn the radio up. Hey, shut up. If somebody's doing you a favor, and the last thing you should be doing is roasting the inside of the car that you're in at 4 o'clock in the morning when that person should be at home sleeping. And that's what I'm trying to get to. We will always notice things around us. It may be, like I said, it may be somebody's incontinence underwear underneath the sink in their bathroom. It may be, somebody doing something unfortunate at a bar 3 decades ago that they laughed at when you talked about it on your podcast, even though they're the ones that did it, right? And it may be a situation where somebody's doing you a favor, and instead of just being grateful for the favor and saying thank you got the nerve to roast the inside of their car, which is actually cleaner than his car, by the way, and give them a hard time. Nobody trying to hear that at 4 o'clock in the morning when they should be sleeping. Like I always say, and I've said this before, and I've said this to people that are around me, and I said this to people when I know they were about to say something that's going to embarrass someone in a way that they shouldn't be embarrassed, and at a time they shouldn't be embarrassed. I just say, just because you see things doesn't mean you have to say something. Sometimes it's just best to notice something and shut the heck up. Am I right about that? I think I am. I just wanted to pop in here real quick because I love doing this podcast. I've been doing this podcast in 2013, and I tended to do a lot of long episodes and stuff like that. But I get a kick out of talking to y'all, and there's a lot more people coming in to listen to the podcast. I want to thank you guys for that. I really appreciate you. And I noticed a lot of y'all are coming from not just in the country that I live in, the United States, but a lot of you are listening from different places around the world. So I just want to thank you very much for that. I appreciate you. And even when I'm not doing a longer episode, I'm going to pop in like this more often because, like I said, I really enjoy talking to y'all. And I appreciate the love that y'all send to me in the comments and personal messages. So I will see you again next time. This is episode number 515 of the S. Anthony Says podcast. Much love to you all. And I will see you again soon. And I really do mean soon. Take care.